Hello and welcome to House News. In this episode, we present you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of Indonesia. And now let's see the headlines for today. A meeting with the Australian Embassy's program design team, BKSP discussed strengthening ties through parliamentary collaboration. BKSP received a visit from the New Zealand ambassador to discuss strategic steps to establish partnership, especially in the Pacific region. The European Commission announced a new visa policy allowing eligible Indonesian citizens to obtain multiple entry Schengen visas with longer validity periods. BKSP highlighted the House commitment to transparency, accountability, and participation through Open Parliament Indonesia. Indonesia has doubled its number of international airports to boost tourism and economic growth. BKSP of the House received an audience with the program design team of Australian Embassy, which presented a 5-year program to strengthen cooperation within the framework of parliamentary collaboration.
Chairperson of BKSP of the House Mardani Alisara mentioned the programs discussed in the meeting are designed as a form of collaboration between the parliaments of both countries. To carry out its representative function effectively, BKSP highlighted several programs to strengthen relations with constituents, including scheduled session as the Aspiration House to directly receive their input and concerns. These collaborative programs are expected to be finalized by the end of 2025 and implemented after the agreement between the two parliaments is signed.
Mereka punya program bagus. 2 hari dalam seminggu, setiap anggota DPR itu harus berada di rumah aspirasi mereka, kayak jadi dokter spesialis. Udah ketahuan tuh. Saya itu Sabtu Minggu dari jam 6 sampai jam 10 malam itu tamunya 10 tim. Ya, jadi saya nemuin 10 tim itu satu hari tuh. Ada masalah pertanahan, ada masalah urusan lingkungan, ada masalah sosial, ada masalah anak muda. Apa yang bisa diberikan solusi oleh kita sebagai anggota DPR kepada konstituen atau pemilih kita.
Furthermore, Mardani explained in addition to strengthen the relationship between members of parliaments and their constituents, the Australian Embassy team also proposed new approaches for building more constructive relations between the House and non-governmental organizations, allowing both sides to share perspective on various issues. Ferdian and Fuad, tvrparlemen report.
BKSP reaffirmed Indonesia's commitment together with New Zealand to maintaining a nuclear weapon-free zone as a safeguard against potential nuclear conflict. This measure is taken to reinforce Indonesia's security amid ongoing geopolitical uncertainties.
During the meeting in the New Zealand ambassador, chairperson of BKSP of the House, Mardani Alisara, said diplomatic initiative will be pursued with countries in the Asian and Pacific regions to preserve the principle of a nuclear weapon-free zone.
New Zealand ini sangat kuat menjaga prinsip zona bebas nuklir sama dengan ASEAN, ya, sehingga bab ini kita akan coba buat tindak lanjut agar ASEAN dan Pasifik khususnya tetap jadi zona bebas nuklir yang itu membuat kita tidak masuk hotspot ketika krisis nuklir ini berkembang. Kalau yang kami bahas free nuclear zone ini untuk persenjataan. Tapi kalau buat energi sesuai dengan Badan Tenaga Atom Internasional, pengembangan 4%, maksimum 4%, no problem. Ketika kita punya masalah dengan Amerika, kita buka pasar baru ke Pasifik, termasuk pemain utamanya dengan New Zealand dan Australia. Ya, yang kedua tentu people to people. New Zealand menawarkan banyak sekali peluang untuk sekolah lanjutan.
Parliamentary diplomacy is also expected to increase Indonesia and New Zealand bilateral relations, opening opportunities for mutually beneficial policies, especially in economy, education, and culture. Bari and Afia, tvrparlemen report.
The European Union has introduced a facility allowing Indonesian citizens on their second visit to Europe to obtain a multiple entry Schengen visa. This strategic policy is expected to open opportunities for international collaboration.
Chairperson of BKSP of the House, Mardani Alisara, stated the ease of obtaining a multiple entry Schengen visa not only strengthens government-to-government and parliament-to-parliament relations, but also opens opportunities for cross-sector cooperation. The multiple entry Schengen visa promotes people-to-people connectivity as an important element in optimizing the benefits of cooperation across various sectors.
Wilayah, provinsi, kabupaten, kota di Indonesia betul-betul pintunya udah terbuka nih. Jangan sampai yang sosok Pak Prabowo udah bikin tuh kosong, itu harus segera optimal. Nah, itu yang kami ingin segera tuntaskan, selain tentu people to people collaboration. Karena salah satu yang menarik adalah bagaimana warga negara Indonesia sangat dimudahkan untuk mendapatkan multiple entry visa selama 5 tahun dengan perjanjian dagang, walaupun ada syarat pernah ke Eropa. Nah, ini akan membuka peluang banyak sekali kerjasama antara people to people, NGO to NGO, business to business, selain parlemen to parlemen dan government to government.
The multiple entry Schengen visa is part of Indonesia-European Union Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. The facility will further expand opportunities for Indonesian exports to the European market, as well as prospect for investment collaboration and the mobility of professional workers, Tegar Aziz, tvrparlemen reports.
After the break, we have more interesting information from Commission 1 of the House, only on House News. During the Open Government Parliament or OGP Working Committee visit, BKSAP requested the central government to take part in supporting the implementation of local OGP in regional administrations.
West Nusa Tenggara is among the regions participating in local OGP. The initiative is a part of a global movement encouraging cooperation between regional governments and civil society with a focus on creating transparent, participatory, and accountable governance. On this occasion, BKSAP gathered the aspiration and achievement of OGP from the West Nusa Tenggara provincial government. Vice Chairperson of BKSAP of the House, Muhammad Hussein, mentions dissemination of OGP to regional governments is needed in implementing the principle of open government at the local level. In addition to the Parliament, central government institutions such as Bappenas should also be involved in implementing OGP in the regions.
Ya, tercatat memang itu baru beberapa daerah, baru belasan kurang lebih, termasuk kota, kabupaten, dan provinsi. Ya, tentunya ini harus adanya kesadaran daripada pemerintah kota kabupaten masing-masing, yang dimana diperlukan juga adanya sosialisasi dari bukan hanya dari BKSAP, namun juga dari pemerintah pusat, khususnya dari Bappenas mengenai OGP tersebut.
Furthermore, Hussein reaffirmed BKSAP's strong commitment to the Open Parliament initiative. Since August 29, 2018, the Indonesian House has officially taken part in this program. Within the initiative, BKSAP acts as the primary channel connecting the House with international parliaments and legislative institutions. From Mataram, West Nusa Tenggara, Gunarso, tvrparlemen reports.
Commission 1 urges the government to prioritize the diplomacy approach in the dispute with Malaysia over the Ambalat block. The move follows the president's statement calling for a peaceful resolution.
Vice Chairperson of Commission 1 of the House, Dev Akbar Safikarno Laksono, asked the government to maintain maritime security operations in the Ambalat block waters to protect Indonesia's sovereignty against potential threats and external interference. Moreover, he pointed out the relationship between Indonesia and Malaysia as neighboring countries and close partners should serve as the foundation for building two-way communication. Dev urged the government to keep dialogue as the main approach, especially after Malaysian lawmakers opposed the joint management agreement on the Ambalat block.
Di era saat ini, pendekatan diplomasi harus menjadi tahapan awal. Apalagi kita dan Malaysia itu adalah sahabat, kita adalah saudara serumpun. Jadi pendekatan secara diplomasi terus dijalankan, akan tapi kehadiran kita melalui patroli, kegiatan-kegiatan maritim di wilayah blok Ambalat tersebut ya jangan diturunkan, tetap harus ditingkatkan bahkan. Kenapa? Karena itu menunjukkan bahwa kita amat serius untuk mengelola daerah tersebut.
President Prabowo and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim have agreed to settle the border dispute and jointly manage the Ambalat block during a bilateral meeting at the Presidential Palace in Jakarta. President Prabowo stated Indonesia and Malaysia had reached an agreement to resolve the issue and enhance cooperation in the Ambalat region. Commission 1 welcomed President Prabowo's initiative and expressed full support for resolving such dispute through dialogue to achieve mutual agreement. From Jambi, Fajar Ilhami, tvrparlemen reports.
Legislators asked the government to fix the misallocation of the 20% education budget and demand the education funds be directed to proper prioritize to improve the quality of education.
Member of the House Melkias Markus Mekeng highlighted the 20% education budget must be allocated in accordance with the Constitution's mandate, which is for primary, secondary, and higher education. He requested the government to allocate funding for civil service education programs from sources other than the 20% education budget. Mekeng explained within the 2025 education budget, the allocation for primary, secondary, and higher education is smaller than the amount directed to civil service education programs.
Dan yang bertanya bukan hanya gurunya, banyak anak-anak didik yang mereka merasa ada ketidakadilan dari sisi pendidikan. Mereka tidak mendapatkan fasilitas yang sama seperti yang di kota-kota besar. Anggaran pendidikan kita itu yang untuk anak-anak didik dasar, menengah, tinggi, itu sangat sedikit dibandingkan yang di kedinasan yang cuma 13.000 orang menggunakan anggaran yang besar. Ujungnya kami akan menulis surat kepada Presiden agar Presiden memerintahkan Menteri Keuangan agar taat pada konstitusi.
In addition, Mekeng stated education is a fundamental pillar in achieving the vision of Golden Indonesia 2045. Therefore, he demands the government improve the quality of education by strengthening school infrastructure, enhancing teacher training, updating curricula, and expanding access in underdeveloped regions. Andri, tvrparlemen reports.
We will bring you more interesting stories when we return, so stay tuned to House News. In early 2025, the Ministry of Transportation officially designed 5 new international airports. The new airports will stimulate regional economic growth and create new international travel opportunities.
Great news for travelers! Starting in early 2025, the Ministry of Transportation has officially designated 5 new international airports. With the latest additions, the total number of the international airports in Indonesia has increased to 22. This step is part of the government's strategy to improve international connectivity, support tourism, and boost regional economic development. The designation is based on comprehensive studies that assess several factors including air traffic potential, projections for international route growth, geographic distribution, and distance to existing international airports. In addition, connections with other modes of transportation and the readiness of immigrations, custom, and quarantine facilities are also considered. All these elements must meet technical and operational standards for aviation, safety, security, and service quality. Sultan Mahmud Badarudin, the second airport in Palembang, invites visitors to stroll the iconic Ampera Bridge. Depati Amir Airport in Bangka Belitung provides easy access to pristine white sand beaches. General Ahmad Yani Airport in Semarang connects travels to Central Java's rich history and culinary delights. Syamsuddin Nur Airport in Banjarmasin highlights the city's river culture and colorful floating markets. Finally, Supadio Airport in Pontianak brings tourists the Equator monuments, offering the unique experience of standing in both hemispheres. International status is not final and will be reviewed based on each airport's performance, including passengers and cargo volume, flight frequency, and the condition of supporting services.
The world's rarest flower, the Rhizanthus deceptor, grows only in Bengkulu's forest. This flower is a unique natural treasure and a symbol of the region's biodiversity.
Bengkulu on the western coast of Sumatra hides a natural treasure that cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. Rhizanthus deceptor, the rarest flower in the world. This unique bloom is not just a symbol of Bengkulu's rich biodiversity, but also a point of pride for the region already known for its lush forests and natural beauty. The flower was first discovered in 2000 by Indonesian and Dutch scientists. Unlike most plants, it has no stems, leaves, or roots. Instead, it emerged directly from the roots of its host plant, appearing suddenly like a hidden gem in the forest. Rhizanthus deceptor blooms only for a few days. Because it grows deep inside Bengkulu's tropical forest, it remains out of reach for most casual visitors. The presence of this flower also highlights Bengkulu's extraordinary biodiversity. Just like its more famous relative, the giant Rafflesia, Rhizanthus deceptor has the potential to become a new magnet for ecotourism, especially for those seeking exotic flora and unique natural experiences. With the right promotion and sustainable management, this rare flower could become an icon of Bengkulu's ecotourism. It introduces Indonesia's natural wonders to the world and also encourages the conservation of the tropical forests.
Quick Response Indonesian Standard or QRIS can now be used in multiple countries. This development makes international travel and payments much more convenient for Indonesian tourists.
Bank Indonesia is expanding the number of countries where the Quick Response Code Indonesia Standard or QRIS can be used for shopping. This way, cross-border QRIS usage enables users to have transactions in other countries without needing to convert or exchange to the local currency. Several Asian countries had already partnered with Bank Indonesia to implement QRIS, such as Japan, South Korea, and all Asian countries. Together with the People's Bank of China, Bank Indonesia has also started conducting trials for the interconnection of QRIS between Indonesia and China. The expansion of QRIS to China is expected to be realized after the entire trial process, ensuring its readiness for smooth operation. QRIS Cross-Border is one of the collaborative initiatives to build standardization of cross-border trade between countries. As a result, Indonesians will be able to make payment abroad just by scanning the QRIS code. Foreign tourists traveling to Indonesia can also make payments by scanning the QRIS code through the application they usually use in their country and already supports QRIS. Since its launch 6 years ago, QRIS has been a game changer for the digital payment ecosystem and has strengthened Indonesia's economic sovereignty. So, if you're planning your next trip abroad, get ready to enjoy this new convenience. With QRIS in your pocket, your holiday just become a lot more fun. Scan once, travel easy.
And that's House News for today. Thank you for watching everyone and have a good day.